Speaker, the Prime Minister refused to answer this question yesterday, so I'll try again today. One fact in the recent violent confrontations along the Israel-Gaza border is undeniable. The riots that led to those tragic deaths were deliberately orchestrated by the terrorist group Hamas. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister's statement last week ignored Hamas's involvement and instead blamed Israel, the most democratic, pluralistic nation in the region. Will the Prime Minister apologize for his poorly worded statement and finally join me in condemning Hamas for the role they played and explain his silence yesterday?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, last week I spoke directly with Prime Minister Netanyahu and explained to him that regardless of which country was involved, any time a foreign military sniper shoots a Canadian citizen, a Canadian civilian, we will have questions about that. We will stand up and express how concerned we are and ask to know exactly what happened. A Canadian doctor was shot by an Israeli sniper. This is something that we have to actually push back on and ask how that happened.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
How about pushing back on the fact that this entire incident was orchestrated by a terrorist group, Hamas? This is shameful, Mr. Speaker. Here we are a week later, after the world has seen Hamas putting innocent civilians in harm's way just to achieve this very type of tragic incident. And this Prime Minister continues to place the blame unilaterally on Israel, a country that goes out of its way to minimize civilian casualties. Will the Prime Minister finally do what the entire international community has already done, condemn Hamas and recognize its role in this tragic event?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we have on this side of the House repeatedly condemned the violence, including the incitement to violence by Hamas. But I will express once again that I am proud that Canada is one of those countries in which support for Israel and friendship with Israel goes beyond partisan lines. And our government has continued to be a friend to Israel. There is, in fact, only one issue on which we deeply disagree with the Conservatives in regards to Israel, is we don't think it should be a partisan domestic issue.
Order. Yesterday, I asked a member for St. Albert Edmonton not to be yelling when someone else has the floor. I ask him again not to do that. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, Canada used to have one voice when it spoke to the issue in the region until this Prime Minister changed the government's position when it comes to Israel. This Prime Minister has politicized this issue by failing to condemn Hamas until a week later, by placing the blame unilaterally on Israel and ignoring the fact that Hamas put those innocent civilians in harm's way deliberately. Why did the Prime Minister take so long to acknowledge the role that a terrorist organization had in this role? Why is he politicizing our relationship with Israel?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, how quickly they forget. In the 2015 election campaign, I had protesters outside the home of a Jewish leader in Toronto because he had dared support the Liberal Party in our election. That leaders within the Jewish community actually stepped forward and supported a different party than theirs. The politicization of the Israeli question has been done by them, and it is shameful and unhelpful to the kind of pluralistic democracy we are. We will always be a friend to Israel on this side.